Hi guys, it's Mrs. Millison. Okay, let's do the check your understanding on page 95. Okay, multiple choice. Now we got a couple questions here. Multiple choice. Select the best answer. Mark received a score report detailing his performance on a statewide test. On the math section, Mark earned a raw score of 39, which placed him in the 68th percentile. This means that what? All right, let's talk this through before we look at the answers. He had a raw score of 39, which put him at the 68th percentile. So again, percentile, I'm going to go from 0 to 100. So 68's around here. So here's Mark. Right, Mark. So that means 68% of students had a score that was equal to or less than his. Okay, so 68% this way. So about 32% of students had a score greater than Mark. Okay, so that's what percentile, 68th percentile means. So Mark did the same as or better than about 39%? No. 39 is the raw score. Nothing in here, the raw score of 39 does not turn into 39%. So any mention of 39% is incorrect. Okay, so A and B are out. Mark did the same as or better than 68% of those who took the test. That makes sense because he did the same as or better than 68% of those who took the test. Mark did worse than 68%? No, he did worse than 32%. Mark got more than half of the questions correct. That we have no idea. That has nothing to do with percentile. So it's got to be C. Okay. Mark did the same as or better than about 68% of those who did the test. Okay. So sometimes it's helpful to write out a little chart because here is percentile. That's percentile. Okay. Number 2. Mrs. Munson is concerned about how her daughter's height and weight compare to those of other girls the same age. So she uses an online calculator to determine that her daughter is at the 87th percentile for weight and the 67th percentile for height. So explain to Miss Munson what these values mean. Okay, again, we can say, Miss Munson, your daughter is as tall as or taller than 87% of girls her age. Okay, and your daughter... Sorry about that. And then we can tell her that for our daughter's height at the 67th percentile, her daughter is as tall as or taller than 67% of other girls her age. Okay. I wrote down this. I'll share it with you. So 87th percentile for weight. 87% of girls her daughter's age are the same weight or less than her daughter. And 67% of girls her daughter's age are the same height or shorter than her daughter, okay? So whether you say it from the daughter's perspective or other kids her age, that's what percentile means. That percent of values are less than or equal to the person of interest or the observation of interest, okay? All right, 3 and 4. Relate to the following settings. The graph displays the cumulative relative frequency of the lengths of phone calls made from the mathematics department office at, I don't know how to say that, some high school last month. Okay, so again, a cumulative relative frequency will always end up at 100 because 100% of the calls were equal to or less than about 42 minutes. Okay. So these are our percentages, these are our call lengths. So about what percent of the calls lasted less than or equal to 30 minutes? So I'm going to come to 30 minutes, and again, don't write in the book. So 30 minutes, I'm going to hit the graph, and it looks like about maybe 65 minutes, okay? So I would say about 65% of the calls lasted less than 30 minutes. Well, what about more than 30 minutes? Well, it would be the balance of 65 to 100. So what's that, 35? So about 35% of the calls up here, 35% of the calls lasted longer than 30 minutes. Okay. Write this down so we can see. So less than or equal to 30 minutes. Okay, so again, we go up to our graph, go over here, approximately 65% of the calls. Okay. Which means how many were more than 30 minutes? It's just the rest to 100%. So approximately 35%, because I just did 100 minus 65. Okay, so there's your 30 minutes. If we're going to go above, it's going to be this percent. Okay? Now we got to estimate the Q1, Q3, and the IQR. All right. So Q1 is equivalent to the 25th percentile. And Q3 is the 75th percentile. Okay, because remember your quartiles break your data up into quarters. Okay, 25%, 25%, and so forth. Okay, so Q1 at the 25th percentile. So here's our percent. So go up to 25. So let's see, 20, 30. So 25 is probably right there, not quite the middle. And I would go over, and I don't know, I guess that's equivalent to about maybe 12 minutes. Okay, I'm going to say approximately 12-minute call. Okay. And then Q3 is the 75th percentile, so we'll come up to 75%. So there's 60, 80, 70 in the middle, and then go up a little bit. So 75th percentile, I'm going to say about, sorry, I lost track. I'd say about maybe 32 minutes, approximately. Okay. So what's my IQR? So IQR is just Q3 minus Q1. So let's do 32 minutes minus 12 minutes. So that'll be about 20 minutes. Okay, so my IQR, I'll put approximately. My IQR is approximately 20 minutes. So that just means 50% of the calls, 50% of the calls, lasted with a range of 20 minutes. Okay, 50% of the calls had a range of about 20 minutes. Okay, so that's my IQR. All right. When you do this on a quiz or a test, you'll be able to write on the graph so you can draw your lines so I can follow your work, but don't write in the book. Okay, all right, I hope that was helpful, and I'll see you next time.